Welcome back to Detective D, the Silk Road Murders. The Silk Rose Murders. So we've arrived at the house of Han Sidong, the latest suspect in our attempt at finding the serial killer, and lo and behold, we have found a rose right outside his house, so I think we're on the right tracks. So yeah, let's see what this is about. A silk rose. There's no doubt about it. He's leaving a breadcrumb trail for me to follow. Well, yeah, let's get it. It's a silk rose like the ones found at the crime scenes. But why plant a fake rose in a real flower pot? Okay, that's odd. The stem is wet. Okay, what's up with that? The soil in the pot is wet, like it's been watered. But why go through the trouble of planting and watering a fake rose? Unless it's meant to draw my attention. Aha! There's something buried in the soil. A wooden contraption. Okay. Alright. Let's, okay. 2, 4, 6. It's an intricate wooden contraption, but what is it for? Presumably the door? Right? Let's just, check here by the boat quickly. This must be the boat the killer used for his getaway after he murdered Yuan Chi-Chi on the Paradise Cloud. Yeah, okay, so we've got a means of escape. Let's inspect this door. It's bolted shut by a special locking mechanism. I should be able to turn this handle in both directions. Okay, well, let's see if we can use you here. There, I can try turning the handles now. Okay, but how? Oh, I know. 53794. How are we gonna do this? The handle's reset, but the door is still locked. That must have been the wrong combination. But it looks like the right combination only requires 3 turns. Okay. Maybe this? And I think there we go. Yes, it opened. Okay, let's take a look. Silk, hello. Here's the leftover silk Han Sidong stole from Gu Chuan. He crafted each rose meticulously with this material. Okay. These are the wood blocks. Han Sidong never stopped practicing his wood block carving skills. He was obviously very smart, gifted even. What turned him into such a violent predator? Nothing on the wood blocks. Let's take a look at this chest. It's not locked. Okay. What have we here? A note was removed from here. I can't make out what's left of it. It reads, The Silk Rose Assassins. It reads, Shu Lin Fei, beloved daughter of Shu Dan. The walking stick is her weakness. Her name is circled and crossed out. It reads, Shi Wen Yan, beloved wife of Lam Haifeng. The book is her weakness. Her name is circled and crossed out. Okay. What about this one? It reads, Yuan Chi-Chi, unattached. Must use force. Her name is circled and crossed out. Okay. Whose name is this? It reads, Women's script is the key. That's how they communicate. And this? It reads, Empress Wu, Mother of the Roses. They are her weakness. Her name is circled. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Will this help at all? So the rumors were true. Not only did the Empress sanction the use of clandestine forces, she gave birth to a secret weapon of her very own, a group of 4 female assassins codenamed the Silk Roses. Xu Linfei, Shi Wenyan, and Yuan Qiqi. All 3 were once members of this group, but one person has been taken off this board and remains unaccounted for. Highly skilled and intelligent, they used a secret writing system called Women's Script to communicate, which means the Empress herself must know this language as well. But each of them returned to normal lives around 2 months ago. Were the Silk Roses disbanded? Yes, that makes perfect sense. Once the Empress officially took over power, it would have been politically untenable for her to condone such a faction within her own regime. It had to be swept under the rug. But somehow, Han Sidong found out about all this and orchestrated a plot to take out the Silk Roses one by one. How did he know about them? Did he witness one of the Silk Roses kill someone? Or worse, was he related to one of their targets? Whatever the reason, his plan was ultimately aimed at taking out the person who started it all. But how does he intend to reach the Empress? She is virtually untouchable within the confines of the royal palace. Unless he's luring her out. She's walking straight into his trap. Okay. Well, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff here. I don't think there's anything else in the chest. Yeah, let's get out of here. There's one other place we need to go. We need to check out the library. We need to see if we can figure out the women's script. So, here. Kong Mentao, hello. The Kong brothers. They've been the custodians of the Imperial Library since my time as a student at the Academy. Let's have a word with them. Well, isn't it our favorite academician, D. Renjie? Look at his cap, you imbecile. That's a magistrate you're addressing. I knew that. I was just reminiscing with our friend about the good old days. It seems you've done well for yourself since your days as a studious Imperial scholar, young magistrate. As my father used to say, luck favors the prepared. And prepare you did. I remember you spending all those long nights studying away in the lonely quarters of this library. You were a true bookworm. Those are fond memories. Well then, it was nice to see you, D. Renjie. Or should I say, Your Excellency. But now, if you'll excuse us, we have some pressing business to attend to. But see you later. Okay, hang on, we're not quite finished. Actually, I was hoping you could help me find a book on the subject of lost or secret writing systems. I'm sorry, we can't help you at the moment. We're working on solving something very important. Ha, like you're anywhere close to finding the answer. I bet I'm closer than you. Don't make me come over there and teach you some manners, little brother. You don't scare me. You haven't scared me since you stopped growing at the age of 12. Why, you little... Enough. What in the world is going on here? Why are you two bickering like little children? It's the stupid challenge. We've been stuck on it all morning. It's so infuriating. A challenge? Our colleague from the Ministry of Public Works came by this morning to issue a challenge. Yeah, a real pompous know-it-all, that Bo May. You see, we've got a sort of friendly competition going between the ministries. Each week we take turns challenging each other to different intellectual exercises. This week it was Bo's turn to come up with a challenge, and boy did he ever. We've been racking our brains on this one all morning. So you see, we'd love to help you, but our reputations are on the line. Besides, our minds are just too preoccupied at the moment. In that case, perhaps I can offer you some assistance? Will you help me if I can solve the challenge? I suppose that would be acceptable. Yes, why not? D. Renjie has spent so much time here, he's practically one of us. It's settled then. Let me help you and you will be free to help me. Great, let's begin. Bo May gave us 2 riddles, each one revealing a single word. He said that the title of the books in this room contains both words. That's right, all we have to do is solve the 2 riddles and we'll know the name of the book. He said that the correct book has a signed bookmark inside it. We retrieve the bookmark, we win the challenge. Okay, so the first riddle. Riddle number 1 goes like this. I once stood for more, but the flames ripped through and through. Now I am but a pile. Do you wish to say I miss you? And the second riddle, riddle number 2, goes like this. I am in the air. I am everywhere. If you let me be, then you might just see me. If you push me away, I'll go, but return someday. My brother and I have managed to write down some possible answers on the scroll in front of you. We're quite certain the correct answers are on this list. Just use the scroll to point out 2 correct works. If a book within the words as in the title exists, we'll tell you where to find it. We're counting on you, dear Renjie. Okay, let's take a look at the scroll. The Kong brothers have come up with some possible answers to the 2 riddles. All I need to do is underline the correct ones. Cloud, shadow, wartime, air, tree, ash, love, death, life, blood, enemy, dust, reason, change, fire, friend, smoke, luck, wind. Okay, so I think the first one is ash and dust. I'm going with. Of course, ash is the answer to the first riddle and dust is the answer to the second. Wait, I know the book. It must be Portraits of Ash and Dust. It's a collection of melancholy poems by various writers. Surely that's the one. You can find it in the bookcase number 3, right behind us. Oh, there it is. Let's see if there's a bookmark inside. Found the bookmark. Bookmark added. Okay. It's the bookmark needed to win the challenge. Okay, let's give it to these guys. There it is. Beaumay's bookmark. We've beaten you now, you rascal. And all thanks to our favorite visitor, D. Renjie. I'm glad I could help. Now on to some pressing business of my own. About your sibling rivalry. I'm detecting a fair amount of friction between the 2 of you. Has something come between you? I worry about him. He just turned 30 and he's still single, with not a prospect in sight. That doesn't mean you have to rub it in my face every chance you get. I tire of your constant reminders. Did you know my big brother has a wife, a first and second, and a third concubine? How about his 6 beautiful children? Have you heard all the adorable tales about them? If you haven't, all you have to do is spend 10 minutes with him and he'll tell you about all his perfect family. My dear little brother, I never meant to offend you. I was just trying to tell you about my family so you could see how worthwhile it is to pursue one of your own. I'm sorry if I was insensitive about it. I only meant to help. It's not your fault. This bitterness I feel now should not be directed at you. I should be happy for you. I'm sorry, brother. Please forgive my inadequacies. It seems you two care for each other very much. Now, perhaps if you could each control your tempers a little bit. Haha, just like the good old days. Didn't I tell you, Mengpu, Brother D is just as witty as I remember him? You can say that again. Okay, I'm looking for a book, guys, come on. I'm conducting some research onto lost or secret writing systems. Do you know of any books on the subject? Lost or secret writing systems, you say? I know of only one book that discusses that topic, but... Oh, that book, the one you let that woman steal from right under your nose? I let no such thing happen. She asked to borrow it for a little while, and I obliged. You're turning red just thinking about her, aren't you? You know it's against the rules to let outsiders take anything from this library. But all it takes is a wink and a smile from a pretty girl, and you'll even forget your own last name. I'll have you know she told me where to find her. I just haven't had the chance to go down that way, that's all. So you have a name and an address then? Yes, I do. Her name is Jiang Yali. She sells flowers down at the Central Market. Wait, you mean to tell me you've known where to find her all this time and you did nothing? Oh, brother, I have to take you out more often. Okay, I think we know who that is. Thank you, you've both been very helpful. Come back soon, dear Renjie. Your company is always welcome. Okay, well, we know who that is. I mean, yeah, we know exactly who that is. But I just want to check back at Sidong's house, because I think we should have picked this up. Or at least picked up the silk. Aha, this is what it was, the silk cloth. Okay, a piece of silk cloth with something red painted on it. So let's take that. And let's see what's on it. It's another one of those symbols. It's a piece of silk cloth with an odd symbol printed on it. This must be the symbol Gu Chuan Sohan Sidong practicing. Its style resembles that of the 6 mysterious characters left at the crime scenes. Okay, so this is going to be useful, presumably. Let's go and speak to Flower Lady. So she was at the Central Market. Okay, I feel like we're closing in. We're getting there. Hey, Mrs. Cho, how you doing? How's that noodle soup going? Okay, she was down this way. There she is. Jing Yali. Her bright and friendly face matches the welcoming lure of her flowers. Let's have a word. Pardon me, are you Jing Yali? Yes, do we know each other? My memory is not what it used to be. No, we've never met. I am Magistrate Renjie. I'm with the Justice Department. Oh, please forgive my impertinence, Your Excellency. I'm not accustomed to meeting court officials. There's nothing to forgive. You may forgo the formalities for now. Were you looking to buy some flowers, then? No, I'm afraid I have much more serious matters to ask about. Ask me? I doubt I know anything of importance, and even if I did, I probably can't remember it. But feel free to ask what you want. Tell us about yourself. I grew up in the southern province of Jiangning. My parents sold flowers at the local market for as long as I can remember. They taught me the trade when I was still little. But as I got older, I grew tired of the countryside and moved to the city. Chang'an has been my home ever since. Okay, about your memory? You mentioned you have trouble remembering. What do you mean? Well, 2 years ago I was in a carriage accident. I don't recall much of it except I was waking up from a ditch. But from that point on, my memory has been unreliable. Some people who witnessed the incident told me that the carriage had fallen over and that I was lucky only to have bumped my head. But shortly after, I realized something was terribly wrong. I couldn't remember certain things about my past, about myself. Where I grew up, my siblings' names, what I liked to eat. These memories seemed faded, often out of reach. Even new memories can be hard to retain unless I make a concerted effort. That's unfortunate, but you seem to be doing well. Some days are better than others. Visual cues usually help jog my memory, so I often write things down. What do you mean by visual cues? Often, seeing a word or drawing can trigger my memory. Even a familiar object sometimes had the same effect. That's how I remembered my hometown. I couldn't recall the name of the village I grew up in until I stumbled upon a lucky charm my mother had given me before I left. Okay, about that library book. Why? I visited the Imperial Library? I honestly can't remember. A man named Kong Mung To let you take out a book even though it's strictly forbidden. Do you remember that? He and his brother Kong Mung Pu are custodians in the library. I believe he left quite an impression on both of them, especially Mung Tao. I'm sorry, I don't remember any of that. Okay. You have a great day, sir. Okay, maybe she remembers this. No, we've got no reason to give that to her. Okay. Maybe she can help us with the strange note? No, not the strange note, with the strange writing. Oh, come on, for real? I mean, come on, there's got to be something we can ask her about. Okay, so we're missing something. Okay, so I've just gone back to the two librarians and inquired about. I've obtained this plaque from them. Let's actually have a look at it. Reads "Silence is golden." Maybe it might jog some memory here. Does this look familiar? Yes, it does. Where have I seen this before? Of course, it's the plaque from the Imperial Library. That's where I met those two funny brothers. The tall one was particularly nice. He let me take a book with me, but I don't remember reading the book or where I put it. Oh dear, they must think I stole it. I should go back there and apologize. This happens to me all the time. Memories fade in and out. What's worse, I lose things constantly. Do you know why you took the book out about obscure writing systems? Is that what it was? It's not coming back to me. I can't think of why I would have been interested in that. I'm so sorry. I wish I could somehow remember more. Maybe you can help us with this? Does this symbol mean anything to you? Yes, I recognize it. The symbol. I've been searching for it. It's something from my past that I did not want to forget. But now, it feels like an entire part of my past has been unlocked and I can remember. Tell me more. Growing up in a small village, a young girl like me had little chance of learning how to read or write. Or at least that's what the men believed. My mother and others like her secretly thought that daughters a special writing system, one reserved only for women. We simply called it women's script. Not all girls knew it, of course. It was difficult to learn and even harder to master. But once learned, the script became a way for us sworn sisters to communicate with each other, to explore the magic of the written word through poetry and art. Unfortunately, after my carriage accident, I had lost the ability to read or write a single character. Yet, I knew that this knowledge was within me. I just needed to unlock it somehow. That's why I went to the Imperial Library. I had hoped that my hunch was true, and that surrounded with all that knowledge, I could find something that could spark my memory. But the book I thought might have answers proved to be useless. It contains no mentions of women's script, only languages invented by men and their grand ambitions. In my frustration, I threw it into the river. But thanks to you and this symbol, it's all coming back. You see, this symbol itself means woman. It is the first character we learn to write. Now I can't wait to return home and practice. I can't let it fade away again. This is remarkable. I had no idea such a script existed. I suppose that is the point. If men want to exclude us, then we have no choice but to create our own paths, far away from your own judgments and suspicions. Point well taken. Let's hope men and women can continue to strive for a better union. Okay, so, that was something. That cloth then means woman. Let's take a look at the symbols here. So, maybe she can translate this? Let's see. I need to look at one more thing for me. Can you tell me if this is a woman's script? Why yes, this is indeed women's script, but I'm a bit rusty. Can you read it? I think so. I believe it says, "Meet alone, crown prince, resting place." Does that mean anything to you? I'm afraid it does. It is the final stage of his plan. This message was for her all along. The murders, the notes, the handmade silk roses. It was all leading to this. A way to lure her out of the royal palace and into the open. He knew she would recognize the victims and the symbolic roses. He knew she could read women's script. But most importantly, he knows she'll do anything to cover up this dark stain on her past. That's why she can't refuse to meet him. That's why she may go alone. How foolish of me. All those clues, all those deductions. I led her directly to him. Now with this message, he's told her exactly where to find him. Dark stain? Royal Palace? Are you talking about the... I'm sorry, I've said too much. I must go now. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Best of luck to you. The Crown Prince. That must be a reference to Yizong, the Empress's firstborn son and heir to the throne before he died suddenly at the age of 23. Some speculated that a power struggle between him and his mother was the true cause of his demise, but those rumors of foul play were never proven. Yizong's tomb is on the outskirts of the city, on the mountain to the east. That must be what he means by resting place. The Empress confiscated the evidence from the Justice Department last night, which means she would have left this morning. If I make haste, I could still catch up to her. I must hurry. Okay, we're getting there. Let's go. Let's go save the Empress. Let's go save her from doing something stupid. Hey there, cat. Can we pet the cat? Hungry little fellow, aren't you? Alright, let's go. Okay, only one route now. The mountain pass. This abandoned cot looks like it's been here for a while. Okay. Nothing else? Nothing else we need to concern ourselves about. Oh no. Commander Yao? Renjie. What happened here? Her Majesty is in peril. You must save her. That man ambushed us. You're hurt. Never mind that. The Empress is trapped inside the tomb. You have to get her out before she drowns. About the ambush? Tell me what happened. How was the Empress ambushed? Earlier this morning, the Empress asked me to come with her on an important mission. She wouldn't tell me anything about it, only that it needed to be kept secret. When we arrived here, the tomb entrance was open. I could sense the danger, but she said she had to go in. I wasn't going to let her go by herself, so we entered together. As we made our way to the inner corridor, a booby trap was set off. The Empress pushed me out of the way before a large metal gate trapped her inside. That's when I saw him. He opened a water valve and ran for the exit. You mean Han Sedong? Is that his name? I told you, the Empress didn't tell me anything. I chased him down these steps, but he managed to surprise me with a strike of his dagger. But the scoundrel never saw my riposte coming either. With all my strength, I thrust my sword into his ribcage. The trail of blood behind you. Follow it, Renjie. I'm certain he could not have made it very far. Okay, about your wound? It's nothing. The Empress is all that matters now. I shouldn't have let Her Majesty fall for that trap. I should have protected her. You did your best? Yeah, you did your best. You did everything you could under the circumstances. Han Sedong was in control. Don't give up on yourself now. Think of the loved ones who care for you. Think of... No, it has to be. The father? Your father, Coroner Yao. How? How did you know he was my father? Coroner Yao told me he had an estranged daughter. At first I did not see the connections, but slowly they came into light. In truth, the clues were abundant. The same last name, each servants in the Imperial Court, and both possessing the same sharp-tongued honesty. But what clinched it was his behavior after your visit to the Justice Department to confiscate the evidence. I didn't see you that night, but I knew that the Empress wouldn't have trusted anyone else for the job. Once I saw his reaction the following morning, I knew. Your father loves you very much. Now you must fight. I'll get you some help as soon as the Empress is secured. I'm sorry I doubted you, Renjie. Boom! Well done us. Hang in there, Commander Yao. Bam! Okay, let's check the trail of... The trail of blood leads to the path down the hillside. Let's check it out. Here he is, my love. Just like I promised you. It's over now, Han Sedong. I know what you've done and why you did it. Give up now before it's too late. Did you hear that, my love? The great Renjie thinks he knows the truth. Tell me, detective. What do you think you know? I know that you are a murderous coward. You killed Xu Linfei, Shi Wenyan, and Yuan Qiqi, and now you're attempting to kill the Empress. No more games. Tell me how to open the tomb's door so this madness may come to an end. A coward? Your precious Empress corrupts the souls of innocents and sends them to her bidding, and you say I'm the coward? You know nothing of the truth, Renjie. You know nothing of the depths of that woman's depravity. But you will. You will know the truth. My beloved Sun Ying will not die in vain. Who did you... Sun Ying? You mean... the maidservant who killed the Korean ambassador in Peng Lai? He remembers you, my love. Think hard, detective. You were there that night. Did you really believe that Sun Ying committed suicide because of that odious rat? Or that she loved him? I knew something was off, that much is true. But it was just a feeling, I couldn't figure out why, but it all seemed... staged. You're beginning to understand, aren't you? All you need is the willingness to look behind the curtains. Why do you think I've kept you so close all this time? I wanted you to see. You were fooled once, but now open your eyes and see the truth. Ugh. Sun Ying has to have been an assassin, so she was the 4th member of the Silk Roses. Sun Ying was an assassin. She was a member of the Silk Roses, the 4th member whose name you removed from your board. Finally, you're catching on. Her real name was Gong Xiaoxia. She was the very first Silk Rose recruited by the then consort Wu. A trained assassin of the highest order, she excelled at becoming invisible. She could become anyone, make you believe anything. Do you see now? Yes, I'm starting to see. Ambassador Choi's death was made to look like a love affair gone wrong, but it was in fact an assassination ordered by Consort Wu. It was all perfectly staged. First, Sun Ying infiltrated the staff, an easy task that could have been achieved by bribing the previous maidservant. Then she manufactured a romance between her and Choi, the central lie that would trick us all. Once he was hooked, his death could be made to look like a crime of passion, instead of a politically motivated assassination. That's it. Go on. Consort Wu knew that she could pick up the pieces of the stalled treaty if it looked like the Korean ambassador was also at fault. The emperor was sick, and she was on the brink of power. Securing the credit for such a marquee treaty was ultimately what she was after. She saw an opportunity to gain more ground in her fight for the throne, and at the expense of her husband's legacy, she seized the moment. But why the suicide? Why did Sun Ying have to die? He's almost there, my love. Sacrifice, solidarity, and sisterhood. That was their creed. The Silk Roses were formed for one purpose only: to bolster the campaign of the first female empress. And any and all cost. Now do you understand why that ruthless tyrant must be eliminated? She poisoned the hearts of those women for her own gain. Is there any worse crime? But you're the one who killed them and took their hearts. Why not spare them if you blame the Empress? I took their hearts so they could be cleansed and redeemed. They no longer suffer the stain of corruption and shame because of it. You would kill just to appease your own morbid sense of justice? Those women deserve better than that. You're the one who's been blinded by vengeance and hatred. I had to do it for Sun Ying. I had to be strong. Isn't that right, my love? She turned you against me, but now can you see what I am capable of? We were inseparable as children. We were supposed to grow old together, until that monster sank her claws into you. Suddenly you changed, said that I was too weak to understand your new purpose. But don't you see how strong I've become, my love? Enough. Your wound is worsening. Tell me how to open the tomb's doors. Enough damage has already been done. At last, we will be together, my love. No more distractions, no more missions. I'm so tired. So tired. Tell them what happened to us, dear Renjie. Tell them what kind of person sits on the throne. You must tell them. Oh, you son of a... We've done it. We've completed all the investigations. We need to speak to the Empress. We've finished the 4th deduction. Let's check out Han Sedong's body. He's dead. Commander Yao's sword landed a fatal strike. He was never going to make it. There's something in his hand. Okay, cylindrical key. And the tombstone. So this is the maidservant back in episode 1. Sun Ying's real name. Gong Xiaoxia, who is engraved on it. Han Sedong must have known he may not survive an encounter with the Empress. His final steps were always going to lead him back here, back to her side. Oh, God, guys, what is going on here? Anything else here? No. Alright, let's get back. We have to free the Empress. What is this cylindrical key? I think it's a key, a very uniquely shaped key. Okay. Come on, let's get back. Okay, let's check out the tomb. Yizong's tomb. The entrance is locked. Okay, 5 plates. From the top going clockwise, these symbols represent the 5 essential elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. I need the key, okay. Ooh, okay, now we have to put the code in, right? Now, which direction? Where, like, how... I feel like we're missing something. She's gravely hurt. Hang in there, come what about up here? What's this? It reads first plane and now hallowed earth. Hallowed earth. And here... it reads later forged by fire and sealed by water. Ah, okay, I got you. I got you. First, so earth one, and then fire, and then sealed by water. Bam! Got it, it's opening. Okay, do we have everything? Okay, let's go inside. Let's go inside. Come on, we've got to get the Empress out of here. Renjie, you're here. How did you find me? I followed Han Sidong's trail. So you know about him? Yes. I also know about the Silk Roses and Sun Ying. Then we have much to talk about. But not here, not now. You're right. I will not delay your rescue. If you can make me a promise. A promise? How dare you negotiate with me? I simply want to know the truth. I think I've earned it. If we make it out of here, allow me one more audience with you. But no more secrets, no more lies. Minister Wang and my husband were right. You are quite extraordinary, Renjie. Very well. You will have your answers. You have my word. Now get me out of here. Okay. Let's look at these stone warriors. Have striped clean of their weapons. Okay. There's an inner chamber. Should we check out... oh, well, I mean, we've got... let's check out the inner chamber quickly. Ooh. Wooden tablet. Let's see that there. He's holding a wooden tablet instead of a weapon. Yizong was Emperor Gaozong and Consort Wu's firstborn son. He was the crown prince and heir to the throne, but he did not live to see his 24th birthday. His mysterious death further ignited rumors of foul play within the royal family. His coffin lacks any markings or decorations, perhaps a sign of the mystery that surrounded his premature death. Okay, well, presumably we won't get a chance to look into it. Let's head back. Maybe we can use this tablet. Okay, so on the slot here, this looks promising. There's an opening where a handle can be inserted. With any luck, this is the lever that controls the gate. The rod is missing. Okay, well, we've got some stuff. We've got a wooden tablet. There's no text on the tablet. But what are these wavy lines carved all on its surface? I wonder... Also, I found this wooden rod. Let's try the wooden rod. It fits. Let's see what happens when I pull this handle. Yeah. Not exactly what I was hoping for. More clues! Let's see. It's a panel with 3 brass wheels. Okay. Wheel, wheel, wheel. What do they do? Okay. Wait. That's metal. Right, that's water. That has to be earth, right? It's fire. No, that's earth. Yeah, that's earth, fire, and water, right? Isn't that right? Obviously not. Let's take a look at this again. Haha, hang on. Hang on. Will this work? I feel like this is going to work. What if the tablet was soaked in water? Okay, alright, so this is going to do something. What does it do? Let's see. The characters on the tablet were painted on with some kind of water repellent. The water has darkened the wood and revealed the dry symbols in the process. They are water, fire, and metal. There we go. There we go. Okay, we can do that. So water, fire, and metal. I think something is happening. Boom. A short time later. I suppose I should thank you for saving my life, dear Renjie. But then again, I seem to remember you questioning my authority twice since your arrival. Perhaps you should be the one thankful you're still a free man. With all due respect, Your Majesty, inaction in the face of injustice is no freedom at all. What use is the mantle you've given me if I cannot perform my duty to maintain order? What do you know of order? Do you know how many times I've averted chaos from behind the cloak of obscurity? Our history is full of despicable rulers, callous men who cared for nothing but their own vanity. Do you really think I was the first person with power to ever wield a covert police force? Or that I was the first to use fear as a weapon? We all have choices to make. I've made mine and I accept whatever consequences they may bring upon me. But do you accept responsibility for fostering the environment of hatred and secrecy that unleashed Han Zedong? You had a hand in creating the monster that he became. The path of fear and intimidation you speak of leads only to death and revolt. And what would you have me do? Sit idly while countless snakes encircle me, waiting for their chance to strike? I am but a lowly servant in a vast Imperial Court. I do not presume to have all the solutions. But I do know this. If we cannot hold firm to our beliefs in times of adversity, then what meaning is there in holding them at all? I trust, I doubt. I trust. I trust Your Majesty will do the right thing. My only wish now is to bring this case to an end. I need to hear the truth from you. Very well. I will keep my promise. You have my attention. Okay, let's ask about the Silk Roses. It was you who formed the Silk Rose Assassins. Why did you do it? My husband, Gao Zhong, was becoming weaker with each passing day. He was deteriorating both mentally and physically. Unless I took charge, others would have stolen away what was rightfully mine. I couldn't let that happen. Whether anyone believes it or not, the throne was my destiny. So I formed the Silk Roses in order to control my own fate. Those women were like sisters to me. I chose them because they were loyal, beautiful, deadly. Today, one last member joins our ranks. By doing so, she swears to live by our code of sacrifice, solidarity, and sisterhood. You represent my clearest eyes, my sharpest ears, and my swiftest hands. You may operate in the shadows, but your impact will be felt for generations to come. For far too long, our voices have been trampled, but now we will be heard. May you be as fluid and enthralling as the purest of silks, as exquisite and fiery as the reddest of roses, and when the time comes, may the silk run red. Sacrifice, solidarity, and sisterhood. They were like family to me. You could never understand. Okay, Sun Ying was the first Silk Rose, wasn't she? Did you order her suicide? Sun Ying was the first and the best, but that wasn't what made her special. She was unique because she believed in me more than anyone ever did. Sometimes I think she believed in me more than I believed in myself. The assassination of Ambassador Choi was never meant to be her last mission, but she insisted that it was the only way. She planned all of it, the setup, the timing, the ending. She even planned your involvement. My involvement? She had done her research. A young, newly appointed magistrate, eager and inexperienced, you were the perfect investigator for the case. But I suppose she underestimated you. I suppose we all did. You're damn straight. Tell us about Han Sedong. Not nearly enough, apparently. When I first met Sun Ying, she told me about her boy from her childhood. He adored her, followed her everywhere. That boy was weak. He was no match for her strength and intelligence. He was a setback waiting to happen. That's why you asked her to cast him aside. I asked her to rid herself of things that could endanger the cause. I never imagined he was capable of such destruction. And the women's script? Why use women's script to communicate? I had heard rumors of a secret language passed on from mother to daughter many years ago, but at the time I did not understand its power. I had lived a privileged life, but then I imagined a world in which I was forbidden to learn how to read or write. If I was to succeed, it only seemed fitting that I use women's script to vanquish the naysayers. After all, my sisters are my allies. Okay, thank you, Your Majesty. You spoke when you could have stayed silent. And you, Renjie, will you repeat the story of the Silk Roses? Will you tell of my past misdeeds? Han Sedong's final wishes were for me to tell his story to the world, but his is a story of fear and loathing. What are you saying? You were right about one thing, Your Majesty. You were not the only, nor will you be the last ruler to justify the use of extreme measures. But one thing now sets you apart. These 4 dead women will forever claim a piece of your conscience, and I believe you will now honor their sacrifice. For that reason, I will not speak of the Silk Roses beyond these walls. The people deserve better. They deserve hope. The rest, Your Majesty, is up to you. Oh, come on. Let him pass. Magistrate D has work to do. The Justice Department needs him. Phew! That was close. That night, by the Dream Pagoda. So we've got that dream again. Back here again. But it feels different this time. Something has changed. Yeah, let's see what's changed. There's the drum, there's the deer. Hey, you dear. I will miss you, dear Renjie. Is this a farewell? For a little while. But tell me, you solved the case, yet your heart still does not rest. Why? How can I rest when I know when I could have done more? Han Sedong was right. From the very beginning I was fooled into believing that I knew my mission and those I could trust. but the truth eluded me. I believed that it was the empress who needed saving, but it was Sun Ying who haunted me all along. It was I who needed redemption for my failure in Peng Lai, my failure to prevent her death. Had I done so, Han Zedong would have never turned into a killer, and perhaps the other roses would have been spared. Greatness cannot be untangled from responsibility and guilt, for not all those in need of saving can be rescued. But where does it all lead? Take the first step, and the second will follow, and so on and so forth. In time, you will find your path to glory. Rise now to the peak. She is waiting. Thank you, friend. Okay. Is that Sun Ying? I want you to know that I tried my best to save you and the others. Perhaps, to some degree, you all have blood on your hands. We all have blood on our hands. That's why I have to live for the rest of my life. But I've come to accept that some of us aren't meant to find peace. Some of us must stand alone, on guard, ready for the next wrong to be made right, ready to shoulder the heaviest of burdens. That is my responsibility, my duty. I understand that now, and I intend to bear it with all my power. May you rest in peace, Sun Ying. Oh man. And that, guys, is Detective D, the Silk Rose Murders. Man, that was something. That was a game. Though, I see that we are determined to get justice for Sun Ying. Though, my understanding of that towards the end is that she decided to kill herself, to kind of go ahead with her own, like, sacrifice, with her own, you know, taking her own life, in order to carry on her mission. She didn't die like willy-nilly. It wasn't an accident, and it wasn't because she was heartbroken or a jilted lover for the Korean ambassador. Like, she was calculated. It was planned. So I mean, that's the one thing I'm not. My interpretation of it is that she's not a victim in this. Well, I mean, I suppose if we're saying that she's part of the Empress's machinations, then yeah, she's a victim. But I don't know. Man, this was a slightly messy one, guys. This was definitely a slightly messy one. But, I mean, you know we love a good detective show on this channel. A good detective game, and I'd say this was a pretty good detective game. It didn't have the kind of labyrinthine, intricate story structures as some others. I mean, I would urge you to check out Lacuna. The Lacuna playthrough, that was a fun one. But, nevertheless, it was still a damn good story. Not super long, but you know, that's okay. I mean, I kind of like these not super long games that kind of just get their point across, get into the detectiving and tell a damn good story. And you know, it was great. Absolutely loved it. Guys, please like and subscribe, as it is a big help in getting these videos pushed up the old YouTube charts. You know how it is. And if you'd like to see more, please drop something in the comments, as I do read all of them, and I do take suggestions on board. So if you've got detective games that I haven't heard of yet, then I'd like to hear of them. So yeah. Anyhow, that is all for now. This has been Detective D, the Silk Rose Murders. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.